Once upon a time, in Japan, there lived a boy named Okayo. He was 10 years old, and one day he had a dream that he wants to join a martial arts institute because in Japan, a person who's an expert in martial arts, they call them senseis. So Okayo had a dream that he needs to be a sensei. So he goes and he tells his parents that, listen, I want to be a sensei, please get me an admission in a martial arts school. So his parents get really excited and they tell, okay, so if that's what you want, we'll get it done. So they are on their way to the institute, but suddenly there's an accident, and it was such a terrible accident that Okayo's left hand gets chopped off. Now his parents think his hand is gone, how can he be a sensei? But after his wound is healed, Okayo once again goes to his parents and tells that, listen, I want to be a sensei. His parents try to make him understand that you don't have a hand, you don't stand a chance, how will you be a sensei? But Okayo tells that he doesn't care, he wants to be a sensei means he wants to be a sensei. So his parents take him to the #1 martial arts institute in Japan, and they meet the trainer, and Okayo tells him that he wants to be a sensei. The master replies him the same thing, listen, I can understand the passion and the burning desire which you have, but this cannot be done, you're lacking an entire left hand. How do you even imagine to fight with opponents bigger than you? But Okayo tells, I'm willing to do anything you tell me, just teach me. If you teach me the right things, I can do anything. I'm gonna beat every single one of your students, just teach me what to do. So the master says, okay then, if you wanna do it, I'll teach you. So Okayo starts his journey in the martial arts institute, and he begins to train every single day. The martial arts trainer teaches Okayo a kick, and Okayo starts to practice that kick. This continues on for a few days, but Okayo sees that the master is teaching different students different moves. So he approaches his master and asks him, I've practiced the kick well enough, now you teach me something else. But the master says, no, go and practice the same kick which I taught you. So Okayo says, okay master, and he goes and he practices the same kick. This continues for a few more weeks. Then Okayo sees that the master is teaching other students new tricks, new techniques. So Okayo once again approaches his master and tells him, teach me something new, I have practiced the kick. The master says, no, go and practice the same kick. So this continues for 6 more months. Okayo keeps practicing the same kick every single day, and he again approaches his master and tells, I've practiced this kick, now teach me something else. The master says, listen, if you want to be in this institute, do what I say or else you can leave right now. Okayo gets scared, so he says, okay master, I'll practice the same thing. So he practices the same kick. This continues for 2 more years. Then Okayo sees that other students are learning so much, and he's just learning the same kick from day 1. So he approaches his master and tells him, I've been practicing the same stuff for 2 years, now teach me something else. But the master says, no, go back and practice the same kick. So Okayo practices the same kick for 6 more years. So 2 years plus 6 years, totally 8 years, Okayo practices just one kick, one single move of martial arts. Then on the day Okayo turns 18, there's a tournament in the institute. It is a ceremony. When all the students complete their training, there is a ceremony which involves all of them to fight with each other, and who will win in that fight in the tournament will be called as Tai. So Okayo goes there and he's very scared because all of his other fellow mates have learned so many moves and he has just learned one single kick. So the first opponent comes. Okayo is here, opponent is here. They both start the fight, and Okayo is really scared because he just knows one kick. But the opponent comes running from the other side. Okayo, in extreme fear, just due to his reflex action, just hits the same kick, and boom, knockout. The opponent has been knocked out, and Okayo has got some new confidence. So the second round takes place. Now Okayo is feeling a bit more confident. Again, one more opponent runs and comes. One more opponent runs from the other side, and Okayo practices the same kick, and the opponent flies out of the ring. Knockout. Now Okayo is feeling really confident. Now a third opponent comes. He is way more bigger than Okayo and way more skilled. He comes there and he starts to punch Okayo in the face. So Okayo tries to dodge, but just when his opponent has lost focus, lost concentration for a fraction of a second, Okayo gives him the same kick, and the opponent flies out of the ring. Knockout. Now, for the fourth round comes the most notorious guy in the entire institute. He's the most deadly, he's the most brutal, because when he fights with people, he makes sure that they bleed. So Okayo is here, the most deadly opponent is here. The opponent comes and he gives Okayo a big grin and he tells, "You're nothing. One kick and you're out of this ring." And Okayo gets really scared because he knows that this guy, he really beats the crap out of all of his opponents. He's very scared, but they both start the match. So his opponent really hits Okayo very bad. Okayo starts to bleed from his punches and his kicks until the referee comes and tells that there's a lot of blood oozing out, we can't continue this match. But the master says, "Wait, continue. Until we have a winner, until we have a sensei, the match cannot stop." So Okayo continues to keep taking the punches, keep taking the kicks, until his opponent starts to underestimate Okayo and he says, "This fellow is..." So when his opponent takes him lightly, Okayo gives him the same kick and the opponent flies out of the ring. Knockout. Okayo is shocked. He gets the title of sensei. He approaches his master and he tells him, "How did this happen? They all knew so many things, I just knew one kick." So his sensei tells him, "It happened because of two reasons. First is that the kick which I taught you, that is the most difficult kick in the history of martial arts. And the second reason is you had practiced the same kick for 8 years. 8 years you had practiced the most difficult kick in the history of martial arts. So the first day when you came here, I understood that if you mastered this kick, then no one can beat you. Because the only solution, the only breakthrough, the only counter for this kick is that someone needs to hold your left hand and throw you on the ground. But due to God's grace or your disability which happened to you is one of your biggest assets. Your disability is your blessing because you don't have a left arm, so no one can throw you on the ground. So there is no counter for this kick for you. So once you hit this kick, no one can stop you. They have to get knocked out." So friends, this was the story. Now some of us might have some weaknesses, but what we need is a master who can see through us what we can't see in ourselves. Because sometimes we need someone to see something in us which we can't see in ourselves. That is when a master comes into picture. He can see our weaknesses and he can tell us what areas to improve upon, so that we can harness all that energy and put it in one form, and when we do it, it's gonna bang on. If you want a master like that, you can find a master. They are all around the place. They can be near your house, they can be on internet, they can be on Facebook, they can be on YouTube. You just need to find, because there is an old saying, if you search, then you will find.